All right, so they drafted Division I AA quarterback who didn't play the year they drafted.
I'm alarmed already. Go ahead.
So and Shanahan said it in the press conference after Friday's game. They didn't expect him to come and start week one.
Garoppolo.
Okay. That's why they had Jimmy Garoppolo. So I get it. We're in year 3 of Trey Lance, and the team is contending. But let's see. They got to contend this year, and they got to contend next year. Because then if they don't contend, then we're looking at it saying, well, this would have been Trey Lance's 4th or 5th year. By the way, how's Trevor Lawrence doing? How's Mac Jones doing? How's Fields doing?
Oh, my goodness.
That's when I think we can look at this team or Kyle Shanahan and get a better assessment of what the future looks like. But he's got 2 years, a year away from being on the hot seat as far as I'm concerned, and that's if nothing goes right.
Yeah, and for anybody out there that says, and I've said it too, that, we need to watch Brock Purdy quarterback more games. You're right, but you're wrong. And you're going to call me crazy and want to throw something at me. Steiny, the couple of series that we saw Brock Purdy play in the preseason, just the plays that the Niners are calling and the plethora of guys that can get the ball on screens, Debo, it wasn't even McCaffrey. It's stupid dumb on how much they have at their disposal and the way Kyle is using the football field like a chessboard. Let me tell you something. That's not going away. So for Brock Purdy to turn into a frog, he's going to really have to be bad. So that's why I just feel like in my core, I'm on the fast track of gear up. Everything going to be perfect from Brock Purdy, but we're about to get 17, if he's healthy, 17 games of what we saw last year to where the man was undefeated in any game that he finished in a Niner uniform. Like, Steiny, I've convinced myself it's going to pick up right where they left off.
And I have no idea. I have no idea.
Because you're right. Brock Purdy's the one component of that's a big part of you having no idea, but I'm feeling like I do.
Okay, for every reason why you could think Brock Purdy's going to be better, I'll give you a reason why he's going to be worse.
And it's fascinating until they kick
Brock
off.
Brock Purdy going to be better or worse? And you know what? Here's the other thing about the weapons. Damn. Oh, you can hand off to McCaffrey 20 times a game. Throw 10 screens a game. Right. At some point, the quarterback's going to have to make some plays, I think.
Yeah, but he did that with Kittle, Steiny. I'm just saying, Kittle had 6 touchdowns when a touchdown and Kittle didn't even go together. Like, that's just, however you say why Kittle got the touchdowns for the people listening.
How did Purdy look in the playoffs compared with the regular season?
Oh, my God. Well, he put up 40 against Seattle, but they were losing at half. And Dallas, that was like the Niner defense. They scored 20 points.
Yeah, I'm just not going to sit here.
I give you that.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you. Well, let me tell you why we're winning the Super Bowl. We're winning the Super Bowl because we have a guy who was the last pick in the draft, who went on a hot streak halfway through the season, and we expect that guy to be the phenom he was all of last season. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's
growing pains.
There's going to be. And whether they can get over the top, I don't know, but I just think, I'm not saying the Niners aren't going to be good.
But you're not wrong.
I'm not making the jump that they're the Super Bowl favorites in the NFC with the quarterback situation. I think they have instability at the quarterback situation. They're giving Purdy every opportunity to be the quarterback of the future. He may be the 49er quarterback of the future. But until he proves it, there's going to be some uncertainty there.
That's the story of this season. Brock Purdy, Steiny.
Let's go to Bobby, or I think the story's now become Kyle Shanahan. Bobby in Los Altos. What's up, Bobby?
Hey, fellas. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm really hoping after 1 week we'll stop this Trey Lance talk. But I would like to say one thing. That caller that called before, it was an excellent call. I forget the caller's name. Mystique or something.
Yeah,
like
Mystique.
But, yeah, one thing that I really take exception to, and I feel like this narrative hopefully will end this week since he's gone, is we spent all this draft capital, and so we should play him, or he deserves to be played. So I don't know much about cars, but I'd like to make this as an example. Let's say that you have something very treasured, like a Cadillac or something, Goo, that your father gifted you, right? And you have to trade that in because you want a Corvette. So it's something precious to you, like draft picks, that you trade in for a Corvette. And then for some reason you get gifted a Maserati. So do you say, you know what, I'm just going to keep the Corvette because I invested my dad's Cadillac? Or do you say, well, the situation has changed and now I got an even better car? And then so you just use the Maserati. Everyone acts like the decision to play or not play Trey Lance is in a vacuum. The fact is, we got lucky. Brock Purdy came in, and he can play better. So why don't we just acknowledge the fact that Brock Purdy is a better player, he can read the field better, and just say, the situation has changed, it's time to move on, let's let the better quarterback start and play, and not worry about what we potentially lost in terms of draft capital. But that situation's over, thankfully. The other thing is, look, Goo, you said that we have all these weapons, and someone said the quarterback position isn't that important. What isn't, and then he's got a weak arm. I mean, there's so much hate on this guy, but the fact is, if you want to say he's unathletic, I don't know, but if he has a lot of weapons, the one thing he can do is read the field, and he's quicker than people think. So he can read the field. So even if it's dump passes and you don't need a strong arm, the fact that he can analyze and determine what the right pass would be, whether even if it's a 3-yard dump, he can do that better than any other quarterback we have. So can we?
Oh, you're right, Bobby. Yeah. Caught me by surprise.
He processes it quick, Steiny. His processor is fast.
Purdy was a rookie last year, and he was expected to drop a little in the playoffs, just like I expect him to be better this year. Yeah, okay. You think he's going to be you know what? You can't say he was phenomenal last year, and then, well, you can, but if you acknowledge how good he was last year, then you can't just say without really thinking about it, oh, he's going to be better next year or this upcoming year. Yeah. I mean, yes, there's a very good chance
he can be better on him now.
But it's going to be subtle, I think. I don't think it's going to be a huge jump. But yes, he was good last year.
He was great.
I do not. Okay, that makes it. If he was great last year, isn't it going to be harder for him to be better than if he were just good last year?
But give me this before we go to break. It's not just up to him because what's around him is.
But he had what's around him all last year,
and he got A+.
Yeah, but I think he's going to have to be better for them to win a Super Bowl or for them to get to the Super Bowl.